What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. The Clippers might be getting a key piece, or should I say a key player, back from injury soon. And it doesn't involve Kawhi or PG at this point anyway, at least as far as we know. So the Clippers swing man, Norman Powell, has been sidelined with a broken bone in his foot, no secret, and which was untimely for the Clippers because, you know, his debut was really good. He ended up with like 28 points, I think, against the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, he showed a lot of promise, and everybody knows Norman Powell is a good player, a good solid player in the NBA, and he has been since he's been in the NBA. So to see him go down with the broken foot injury when he was out indefinitely was definitely not good for Clippers Nation because, like I said, him and Robert Covington can do a lot of good things for the Clippers, especially, you know, defensively. Both of them are disruptors defensively. They cause turnovers. And like I said, Norman Powell is a better scorer. Robert Covington is actually a better defender, but they both pan out. They both can knock down big shots if need be. And Norman Powell definitely, I would say, is the better player between the two, but both of them as an acquisition was a very good acquisition for the Clippers to trade for. And you want to see Norman Powell be out there because mainly you want to see him build chemistry with the guys, you know, well, just like Robert Covington is doing right now. And he's fitting in very well himself. So I know Norman Powell will fit in just fine also. So as far as that, you know, reports are out now that he's out of the walking boot. And you can look at it in Sports Illustrated. You can check it out. But the facts are now he's out of his walking boot. And now, you know, he's freed from that. So, I mean, definitely that's a good sign. And, you know, the Clippers never ruled him out this season, just like they didn't rule out Kawhi or PG this season. There's a couple weeks just left in the season, a few weeks left, I should say. And, you know, there's still time. And the Clippers are definitely hopeful that Norman Powell makes a comeback, you know, before the season's out. That was their hope that he was able to do that. Now, there was no reports about Norman Powell several, you know, within up until this point, because, you know, that's what I was definitely wondering, you know, how questionable the situation was because nobody heard anything about Norman Powell. There was no updates or no anything like that. But I mean, of course, you probably wouldn't hear nothing about him over, of course, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. But at the same time, there was no reports really up until this point. So I'm glad that there is a point where, you know, we're starting to hear about his injury as well and see how far he's progressing, because I definitely think he's a key piece to what the Clippers can do and will be in the future, you know, because with his ability to score and play pretty solid defense, it's almost like he fits right into the Clippers system. Him and Robert Covington basically fit right into the Clippers system in their way very easily. So, I mean, I think, you know, Norman Powell is definitely going to be a key component, you know, definitely be like, you know, maybe possibly might even become their third best scorer, you know, I mean, depending on, you know, how good he plays and everything like that, because Ty Lue is definitely not a stranger to, you know, exploring and switching up lineups, you know, going with the guy with the hot hand who's playing the best at that time. And, you know, that's just the way Ty Lue has always been. You know, he stands on his ground of who he is and how he thinks. And, you know, that's what he does, you know, so, you know, I can definitely see him being that. Or even if they had Norman Powell come off the bench, you know, either way, he still would be effective because he's just one of those players who can come in and drop big points and, you know, make a lot of things happen. You know, he's a very good role player, very good solid player, and he's definitely a championship type role player because we've seen him win a championship with Toronto when he played with Kawhi Leonard in 2019 when they won the championship against the Warriors. So he's definitely a key valuable piece, and I know Clippers Nation is definitely going to be glad to have him on the floor because that makes their offense go up a little bit more, because he's definitely a guy who can give you 19 and 5 a game easily. He can give you 19 points and 5 assists a game. He can do that. I mean, it's no doubt about it. I mean, he was good in college, I thought, and, you know, he was good when he got in the NBA. Definitely a very good player, definitely a high IQ player too. And, you know, Kawhi Leonard has said many times he wants to have high IQ players. He likes playing with those players. I mean, because that's really all he's ever had. I mean, if you look at the Spurs, he had, Danny Green at one point, Patty Mills, of course, Tim Duncan and all them, of no doubt about it. Marc Gasol on the Raptors, and, Serge Ibaka, Norman Powell, Kyle Lowry, guys who knows the game, guys who knows how to play basketball, like just basketball, skill, like mentally, like, what I'm saying? And that's what Kawhi thrives on. And Norman Powell is definitely a piece that would make him happy, along with the organization too. So definitely want to see Norman Powell out there. Definitely want to see him build chemistry with the team and everything the way they got it now, because they can definitely use more offense. And I think even though they're getting a lot from Reggie Jackson and stuff like that, but, the fact that Marcus Morris is inconsistent, the fact that Zubac can be inconsistent, things like that. You need a player who can kind of make up for what they don't do at times. I'm not saying, at least scoring wise anyway. Norman Powell can make up for a lot scoring wise, because he can, like I said, he can average 19 points a game easily. You know what I'm saying? So definitely glad to hear that he's out the walking boot and they didn't shut him down for the season, because they definitely, would definitely need to try to build chemistry with him at least the last several games of the season before they, try to make a run into the play-in, going into the playoffs. And I definitely think that's a good thing. And, of course, we want to hear Kawhi and PG being available, to come back. But, we have to wait on that. And right now, it's more of a possibility that Norman Powell is the closest to come back out of those three players, key players there. So we'll see exactly, how long it takes him to come back. It's good to see him out the boot. It's good to see him, actually being able to be a little bit more mobile with that foot. So hopefully, the injury recovers well, and hopefully he can start, practicing here maybe within the next week, and taking some contact, and maybe possibly try to get out there maybe like with just a few games left in the season, and that's where Clippers Nation is right now with him specifically. And I definitely think that's, some positive news, because like I said, he definitely add to, bring more scoring to the Clippers. And that's really what the Clippers need, They need more scoring. Their defense is really good. Their defense is sound. I mean, it's legit. There's no way you can, overlook that, or, even look past it. There's really no way, because like I said, they're a good team, overall. They just need more scoring, and I think that would definitely get them over the top, of course. But that's what Kawhi and PG is there for. But at the same time, it's always good to have a player like him along with Robert Covington. If you think about how this team is built now with those two acquisitions, man, it's going to be tough to really beat them if they're able to get healthy before the playoffs. And I really hope they do, because as I said before, this is the season for them to do it. This year and last year, to me, was their seasons to really win it all. You know what I'm saying? So, it's got to be some miracle or something like that out there where Kawhi can make a comeback and, finish out the journey that he started here in LA, along with Paul George and the rest of the crew, and Robert Covington and these guys, and Norman Powell and the rest of the guys on the roster, because this team is really, really, built for success. Even though a lot of the media doesn't want to talk about it, this team is really built for success. And, the only way it's going to happen, though, is if they're healthy and, everybody's all on one accord. And, you have to play together. You have to build that chemistry. You can have all the talent you want on a team, but building chemistry is everything. So I just hope they get together and, possibly make a run at this thing. But it's good. The way this team is right now, honestly, they don't really even need that much chemistry, because a lot of them already know each other and know how each other plays. With just a couple of the acquisitions that they made, it's not much for them to really even do either, because as I said, Norman Powell and Robert Covington really just fit the Clippers. I don't really see too much they have to adapt to, because both of them just fit. And that's why I feel like Norman Powell is a key piece, and they really need to, get him, healthy again and get him going, to add him to what they already have, and get Kawhi and PG back and go ahead and make a run at this thing and try to win a championship. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section as always. And hey, Cali out.